know in 2012, almost 1 million users were added to Twitter every single day? Daily, individuals are still creating new Twitter accounts, as well as spending dramatic amount of time on the social media website. With our society today, there's no better place to be online than Twitter. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jen, and today I'll be introducing our topic of accountants and Twitter, as well as introducing my team. After myself, we'll have Jennifer, who will be talking about the benefits accountants gain from using Twitter. These benefits will include building customer relationships, as well as creating value for our customers. Next, we'll have Adrian, who's going to be talking about how accounting firms use Twitter. He'll be discussing how the 3 categories that accounting tweets can be categorized into, as well as how a large accounting firm, a small accounting firm, and a self-employed CPA all tweet differently. After Adrian, we're going to have Jeffrey, who's going to come up here and talk about how accountants have risks of using Twitter. The first risk he's going to discuss is if your business is not on Twitter, how detrimental it can be for your business. Next, he's going to speak about how the potential risks of having your business on Twitter. And lastly, he's going to close up with the warnings of how accountants might not be on Twitter at all. And lastly, we're going to have Hannah, who's going to come up here and talk about advice and tips for accountants. Her section is going to be broken up into 3 components of the 3 elements: interesting tweets, and lastly, talking about the customer support system. All information obtained from me and my teammates has mainly been pulled off of Business Source Complete. To verify that everything off Business Source Complete is credible and reliable, we provided rather an AAOCC test on all the information or a CRAAP test. So next, before we get into the big 4, what is a tweet? A tweet is a message that's 140 characters or less that you can share with all your followers at any time without any barriers instantly. Now, speaking about tweets and the big 4, on average, between the 4 companies, 73% of them use most of their tweets for knowledge sharing. And another 23.35% of them use their information for branding and marketing their companies. Now next, we'll have Jennifer, who's going to be talking about the benefits accountants use Twitter for.
Thanks, Jen. The Twitter is not only beneficial to business, it's also beneficial to accountants. In Fortune 500, there are 72 financial service firms, and 37 firms choose Twitter as their social media platforms. Why such large potential of financial firms choose Twitter as their social media platform? Because Twitter can help accountants building relationships, create value, and the short message is really efficiently. I will use the CPA daily tracker sample to illustrate my 3 main points. Let's move on to the first one. Building relationships. Twitter can provide potential opportunities to someone who you never know before, but they are really useful to you. Look at this picture. When David tried hair at Thomas Sato, maybe she will write some good articles about CPA diary in her magazines. Also, people can follow anyone in Twitter without limitations. Next, create the value. Look at this screenshot, which is from David Tracker's Twitter. When he answers some people's financial questions, it can increase his reputation. Also, Twitter is an excellent tool to collect and track the newest accounting policy. Finally, the short message is really efficiently for accountants. That can help accountants save more time on collect customers' feedbacks. Besides, each short tweet has a short link to connect with the full text sources. that can help accountants or customers to read more. All in all, no one social media can guarantee it can attract a mass of customers. But if firms can manage them well and avoid security problem, they can create 4 or 5 social media platforms to attract customers' use. That's all of my section. Let's welcome to Adrian to talk about company use.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so my name is Adrian. I'll be talking to you guys about how accounting companies use Twitter. So to begin with, I'll be showcasing how a large accounting firm uses Twitter, such as PwC, how a small accounting firm uses Twitter, such as Smite CPA, and how an individual self-employed accountant uses Twitter, such as Jeff Maddox. Okay, so I was able to go into Business Source Complete and identify 3 main categories which accounting tweets can be categorized into. These categories are knowledge sharing, marketing, and socialization. Okay, so now I'll show you guys some examples of Twitter posts within each category. I'll start with knowledge sharing, and for knowledge sharing I chose to showcase PwC. PwC has a lot of clients within the mining industry. As a result, they post a lot of knowledge sharing information related to the mining industry. This is a great way to show those clients that you care about their business. In addition, the second form of knowledge sharing is just showcasing articles and reports, which establishes a company's credibility. If you can publish an article or a report which is related to, let's say, the mining industry, it shows the clients and future clients that your company can publish credible industry-related reports. And the third form of knowledge sharing are seasonal posts. This is more of a way to get in touch with your individual client. So in this case, PwC posted our 2016 Retail Holiday Outlook, which again, it's a great way to get in touch with your individual clients. And now let's have a look at how a small accounting firm, such as Smite CPA, and how an individual accountant, such as Jeff Maddox, use Twitter. So let's start with Smite CPA. So Smite CPA uses Twitter as a branding marketing platform. This is a great way to show your existing clients that your company is active in the marketing or in the accounting community by sponsoring events. And it also allows your company to have their name published on the slides of these presentations at these events. And the second way that Smite CPA uses Twitter is just posting jobs. So this is a quick, easy, pretty much free way to let people know that your company is looking for someone to hire. So as we're all students, this is an easy way to look for job opportunities. Just subscribe to some of these smaller accounting firms, Twitter pages, and you might come across a job posting one of these days and apply and get a job with them. And last but not least, we have socialization. So for socialization, I feature Jeff Maddox. He's a self-employed accountant. He uses Twitter to socialize with existing clients, new clients, and to keep in contact with other accountants. And Jeff Maddox also uses Twitter to, again, show what his company can do for potentially new clients. And again, this is a very cheap, pretty much free way of showing your potentially new clients of what your company can do for them. So that concludes my section, and I will pass it off to Jeffrey now, who will talk about risks and challenges.
Thank you, Adrian. As you were saying, I will be here to introduce to you guys the risks and challenges of using Twitter. First of all, I will be speaking to you guys about how it can be a risk to actually not use Twitter. So here are some facts here that show that how big social media and Twitter is nowadays in business. So as it says here, there are 60% of companies have already a social media strategy. So in turn, those people, those 40% who do not have those social media strategies to really push their company forward, they're actually missing out on the benefits that Jennifer was speaking about earlier, such as relaying messages, or having concise messaging, or just building relationships and such. Although there are many benefits to Twitter, we also have our risks. In contrast to what Jennifer was saying previously, Twitter can really help build relationships, but those relationships, if went the wrong way, unprofessionally, or they can really hinder that relationship and end up maybe breaking it in the future. Jennifer is also speaking about how Twitter can be used to disseminate data efficiently because of its 140 character limit. But although it's nice to have a very concise way of spreading data and information, it can also be a detriment to itself. Having only 140 characters limits the amount of words being said, obviously, and with that, not being able to do that can lead to confusion for the readers if there are no further context behind it. Also, Twitter being a very social and very open platform, as it is for Facebook and YouTube and such, there can be positive feedback towards the particular accountant or business, but there can also be very harmful comments that can lead to the destruction of your reputation. So I just want to leave off with two things. One is that social media is used for the benefit in terms of building relationships and as well as building reputation and to be known as a credible company. On the same note, not going the right way in that sense can really do the opposite of what we really want to do with social media, especially with Twitter. Having an inconsistent posting base or posting stuff that is not very credible really hurts. All of these things really hurt reputation, and that's the biggest threat of using Twitter. Just not being able to reach out to your clientele is really dangerous in that way. Also, what I was saying earlier about consistency, not being able to showing yourself as very inactive and non-dynamic within your social media really stands out to your audience, and not being able to really reach out to your audience means that they'll probably just go somewhere else if you're looking for business, or if you're looking for another accountant, they'll find someone who's really actually interacting or really responding to the questions and such. Again, with Twitter, especially for businesses and for accountants, we must maintain a sense of professionalism in a way where we should be more objective rather than subjective, and be very mindful of what is being tweeted. There are some examples of where Twitter can really be harmful to the company in a way where we can lead, because of the short 140 characters, there can be disputes between clientele and the company, and that can really, again, all this really hurts company reputation. Also, tweeting stuff about other brands that can really hurt the company, or just using them out of context, using them out of context can eventually lead to copyright infringement and such, and obviously we don't want to really go through legal disputes and stuff. Yeah, so that is my part of the presentation. I'm just here to finally conclude and advise you guys on how to use Twitter.
Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about advice for accountants to use Twitter effectively. Now the purpose of this is to show you guys how to attract more followers, and your follower might even be your future clients. Now my goal of today is give you guys some tips of how to use Twitter effectively. There are three main points I'm going to talk about today, which are the 3 elements, interesting tweets, and customer service software. The very first thing you need to do is identify the 3 elements. What's the 3 elements? 3 elements are mindful adoption, community building, and absorbing capacity. Mindful adoption, which means that adoption Twitter into your organization culture, your customer, and your business objective. Community building, which means that you need to keep populating Twitter with engaging content. Therefore, your follower will feel you are interesting. And the last one is absorbing capacity, which means that you need to have ability to recognize and learn new knowledge and sharing with your follower. And also find out what is newest trend between your customer is important too. The second thing you need to do is creating interesting link. The main role is being engaging. Here's all the way you can do, such as sharing interesting link, sharing tax tips if you have one, because everyone wants to save money, right? And also using hashtag to gain attraction and spread to people easy. The last thing is never do constant sell, because if I'm your follower, I will feel annoyed and send us your follower. And lastly, we suggest you guys can use customer service software, such as Desk.com59. The system is very helpful for you to manage social media effectively, such as managing client data more productive and respond different types of transaction and message. And it also can predict customer future needs. So that brings me to the end of our presentation. Let me give you a summary of what we have been talking about for the last 15 minutes. So we talked about statistics of Twitter and benefit of how accountants use Twitter and how companies use Twitter, and risk and challenge and advice. Therefore, we conclude that Twitter is a very great choice for accountant to build relationship with your clients. That's the end of our presentation.
Questions? No? I got one. So, what is the best company, the big four, how often do they tweet, and who uses Twitter most effectively? Is there one of them that is like the shining example to follow, or what?
I would say PwC. Not only do they post Twitter posts related to accounting, such as tax and audit, but they also kind of try and go on a more personal level. So they show their employees participating in events such as sporting events, or showing their employees volunteering. So that kind of also creates a good brand image for PwC. Whereas the other 3, like Elwitz, that's how you pronounce it, they tend to stick more by the book. It's just tax information, audit information, maybe they'll sprinkle in some information related to what their employees are doing. But PwC really keeps it real. You know, tax, audit, but also how does PwC treat its clients? How does it treat its employees? What do the employees do? So PwC is definitely the company to follow on Twitter in terms of setting an example for your employees.
A question about the external software. What do things like Hootsuite or the one that you promoted, what do they actually do for you and Twitter? Like, how does it work?
So for this, it can you can log in with your company account, and then shows like Facebook, Twitter, or some kind of stuff, and then you can respond immediately. So you can more productive, and your customer won't wait for like 3 days to tell your response.
Okay. Hey.